which breathed life into the epic original of Kalki, which is considered greatest in the Tamil literature. Little do people know that it is Mani Ratnam's dream child, which almost took 20 years, 20 years to come to life with such an epic star cast. And the cherry on top is the A.R. Rahman's music in the background. Well, that's how we got the perfect recipe. That's about it. We got PS1, which indeed is and was already a massive hit, which also left us on a major cliffhanger, mind-wobbling, suspenseful about so many questions. If our favorite characters like Arun Modi and Vandi Etwan made out alive, of course, who will sit on the throne and who is Moni Rani? Well, these are my questions that I would like to know, and we know that there are so many more. So, finally, the desperation, the incessant waiting to get the answers of all these questions come to an end on 28th April when PS2 hits the theatre. I hope you all are ready, and it is highly suggested that you guys recap on all the action of PS1 with Amazon Prime. And finally, to get us a little bit more on PS2, we have with us the star cast itself. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to welcome them? So please put your hands together, first of all, for Aishwarya Lakshmi joining us on the stage, who happens to play Purnima, the boat girl who ferries passengers from Chola land to Lanka, savior of Arun Modi's life and friends with mysterious Moni Rani or Mute Queen. Can you welcome Aishwarya on the stage with all the love? Joining us now is, of course, for whom the title of the movie goes itself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very own Ponniyin Selvan, Arun Modi Varman. Please welcome Jayam Ravi, who plays Arun Modi, the youngest prince, composed and royal, elephant whisperer. He is given the title of the movie, the title Ponniyin Selvan, the son of river, because he fell into the depth of Kaveri River and was also saved by it. Joining us next is the very gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shobhita Dhulipala, who happens to play Vanati, the Velar princess marked for marriage to Arun Modi as a child. She is friend to Kunduvai and an avid observer of all the happenings around the court. Up next, please welcome the true friend. Please welcome our very own Vandi Etwan, Karthi on the stage, the prince without a kingdom, the spy, and the true friend to the Chola royalty. And finally, please welcome the flag bearer of women empowerment. I hope you guys guessed it right. Please put your hands together for our very own Kunduvai, played by Trisha, so beautifully and powerfully. The Chola princess who rules with her sharp wit and intellect, running affairs while her father ails and both her brothers fight wars. And finally, joining us on the stage is the royal prince, everybody's favorite, Aditya Karikalan, played by Vikram, the crown prince of the Chola Empire, ferocious tiger who lives by the sword. Ladies and gentlemen, I think these much applauses will not suffice the love, the respect we have for our favorite stars who have played these beautiful characters so gracefully. So we call for more applauses and big, big cheers already. Thank you so much. I hope you're all set for the round of questions. Are you guys ready with your questions? Okay. We also have our questions for you guys. First of all, a big welcome to all of you. A big congratulations indeed to all of you. PS1 is already a hit. Everybody knows it. We have loved it with our hearts, and we are so ready for PS2, especially when we have so many questions for you, and of course, so many questions to be answered by PS2. So my first question here goes to, okay, Shobhita, to you.
मैंने क्या किया?
नहीं, it's of course आपने बहुत अच्छा किया है मूवी में. नहीं करा है ना? Guys, can we get a big round of applause for Shobhita? So Shobhita, you have played the character so beautifully, as if it came naturally to you. But my question is a little different here. I think it's the transition that you've had from, the Bollywood cinema to the Tamil cinema. It's the first time that you've been there. So how was the entire experience? Was it challenging? What was the feedback? How you liked the entire journey of this transition of entering into the southern cinema?
इसमें इतने सारे questions हैं. Hi everyone. This is my first Tamil film, so it's obviously very, very special, very exciting. I get to work with incredible actors. Mani Ratnam sir, who's like a dream filmmaker for so many of us. Incredible craftsman. So it was obviously a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for me. I relished every moment of it. The kind of work I've done before, otherwise, is very, very different from this. So I think as an actor, हम वही चाहते हैं कि हर काम अलग हो एक दूसरे से. So I really had the chance to do that, and I got to dance also, which was very fun. So yeah, huh? Oh, yeah. So that's what. इतने सारे सवाल थे आपके, मैं भूल गई बीच में.
मतलब all in all, you've answered most of the questions.
मजा तो आया बहुत. Was this to tell me to shut up?
No.
The Oscar award.
I think it was to let you know that we are excited to know so much from you, and I think you've majorly answered all our questions. It's the trailer being played. Yes, thank you so much, Shobhita. Thanks a lot. And we are delighted to see you on screen once again with PS2.
Much. Thank you.
And my next question here goes to, it goes to Karthi. आपसे मेरा सवाल ये है that you've played the role so beautifully, right? You have been the connecting dots, with everybody. You have been the major point of connection with all the pivotal characters. So how challenging was it for you to prepare for a role like that? For you were there in the movie, surrounded by all the characters, connecting them.
Thank you, and first thank you to all of you for all the love that you've extended for us. Last time when we came here, everybody was new to us, but now I can see a lot of familiar faces. And the way you received us and the amount of love we received, it felt so warm. We never expected so much love here, and we were so happy to meet you all. So thank you again for that and for all that support. And coming to you, answer your question, PS1 was just a setup for the entire film. I think we have already spoken so much about my experience working on the film or interacting with every character in the film. And now PS2 is about to release on the 28th, and this is when the actual drama is going to happen. All that in the first part was just the setup, introduction of all the characters and the premise of the film. Whereas the entire drama is the second half. So far, you've reached the interval, you've had your popcorn, you've taken rest. Now the main drama is about to begin in PS2. And it's going to be really exciting because as you see in the trailer, there are all the unexpected moments are revealed already in the trailer, and how are these dots going to be connected is what that you are going to expect and be thrilled about in the film. And we are really looking forward to your reactions. And I really hope most of you have watched PS1. Have you? All right, thank you. So I think PS2 will be more promising, more engaging, and I think it has all the elements to keep you enthralled on the screens. And a lot of people have caught up on the film on the OTT, and they are much more informed about the plot, the history behind this story, and I'm sure they will really enjoy the entire drama and the emotion that's going to be seen in PS2. And so, thank you.
Thank you so much, Karthi. You truly left us on the note of suspense when you said that you'll get most of the answers to your questions when you watch the movie. And thank you so much for the answer. I think we already, not just me, we already are very, very inquisitive about our questions. So we'll leave for more questions with the press and over to the Q&A session with the press.
Hello. Seema Dhawan here. My question is for all the three ladies. With Kalki's beautiful writing and Mani Ratnam's portrayal of women as empowered ones in the Chola dynasty, so what else we can expect here in this film? To what extent the empowerment of women can be shown in this? Can we see in this film?
Can I? I mean, I just have my 2 cents. I feel like everyone has all colors and all sides to their personality. And sometimes कुछ stories में वो सारे colors बाहर नहीं आते because plot allow नहीं करता है. So I feel like through this we've had the chance to show the strength or the grit of a woman under pressure with grace, जो actually real life में बहुत बार होता है. So I think it was actually really special to be able to show it. उस time पे भी, I mean, women have always been strong and soft at the same time and all the time. So I think being able to show that was actually really nice. इसमें कोई unique बात नहीं लगती है मुझे. मुझे लगता है कि ये तो normal है. दिखाने का मौका हमें मिला. So that was nice.
Yeah, that was exactly what I had in mind as well. So now you know what's happening on sets. God, now you know what's happening on sets.
And to add to
this
that,
is something
and to add to that, I can also say that all the important decisions are being made by women in this part too. So
that
men
they
do
won't
listen
allow
to
us
women.
to talk. But other than that, it's all good.
Pretty much. Can you hear me? Hi everyone. Thanks for coming. I would definitely agree with what Shobita said, and also like Karthi said, part 1 was pretty much predominantly an introduction of every character. So part 2 is when the story actually begins. So if you think the women were very powerful and empowered in part 1, it'll be a notch above that in part 2. That much I can assure you.
Yeah, good evening everyone. Pardon my throat, yeah. Hi. Okay, my question to you is, this film is about Chola dynasty. So what was your reference point? I mean, what did you refer to so that you come close to the dynasty and the characters and the things that play?
Money, sir. He was my reference.
See, this movie is based on a novel, which was written by Kalki, and it was written 70 years back. And he himself had done a lot of research before he wrote it. And the Nilakanta Shastri, who wrote Chola Dynasty, was his very close friend. So all the scriptures and the references that he got was handed over to Kalki, and with that he wrote this fiction. So it's not entirely history, but it's historical fiction. So all the references are already done, and all the research was already done by Sri Kalki.
But as an actor, how did you approach?
Of course, the characters are so well etched. All the characters, every single character has layers. There's so much to actually make a whole film with each character. So he had written everything already. But few of us have always read the history during the 10th century. And like for example, Toradharni sir had done enough research to see how to bring back those palaces. And for example, Eka had done so much research on the costumes. So all that research was done with respect to history and referred by historians. So a lot of care was taken on that aspect.
Hi, Amit Bhatia from ABP Live. My question, any of you can answer, it's a very practical question. Those who haven't seen PS1, should they see it first, or is there any recap so that they can, because story is like very complicated, बहुत सारे इसमें plots हैं, तो उन लोगों के लिए क्या है जिन्होंने देखी नहीं है? PS1.
If you ask me, should I watch PS1? I would recommend you to watch PS1.
No, I've already watched.
Okay, so please do watch PS1. It's a good film.
It's out on Netflix or
Amazon. So you can definitely watch PS1.
Can watch it. And we're also doing a re-release in some states, so I hope they're doing it in Hindi
and
too.
There is a recollection at the beginning of the film for even people who have not watched PS1.
You'll have a recap.
Still, recap, and they know what's happened so far.
They'll understand.
We are catching up with the OTT.
Also, I feel like 5 books को 2 film में बनाया, और मतलब उसका जिस्ट छोटा सा रिकलेक्शन है, like a recap, उसमें मतलब समझना तो थोड़ा मुश्किल ही होगा, करना पड़ेगा होमवर्क सबको. हाँ.
Hello. My name is Jigyasa and I'm from India.com Z. First of all, a big congratulations for the film. My question is to you, Vikram sir. I would like to know that this film, as we can all see, it's based on a historical novel. And when we talk about history, there is a lot of that goes into the timeline. And when the film is about to release, there is scope when the representation of characters and the story is there. So sometimes people do, there's also scope for controversies that this character or this was misrepresented or something. So I want to know that, do you fear the rejection for this? And if yes, then how do you prepare for it?
I've said this often, my blood group is B positive, so I'll stick to that, and we'll be positive and we won't be expecting a negative reaction. So to start off, hi everybody, thanks a lot for the wonderful support that you gave us for PS1, and I think this is the right moment for me to say, and on behalf of everyone again. Regarding your question, I think why the film worked in Tamil, it doesn't, I mean, I don't think many of you would have read the book in Hindi, but in Tamil, it was very true to the story, to what was written 70 years ago, and they loved that. So there was no misinterpretation, we've not changed anything. It's only in the second half, the second part that we're doing now, there are certain endings that are left open. He's kind of knotted them up in a very interesting fashion, and Mr. Mani Ratnam is the best that way, so I'm sure he'll not disappoint you. And we are going in with, whenever we release a film, I think we never make a film where you go in feeling, will this work? You think it's going to work, however good or bad the film is, from anybody's point of view. You feel personally it's going to really do well. And when we've already seen the wonderful response we got for part 1, and we were not surprised. We didn't think that it'll break all records in the South, but in Tamil Nadu especially. But we knew it's going to do really well. So even when we thought of it as one part, it was a beautiful film. So the debate we had in the dubbing theaters or wherever we used to meet during shoot was, if it's 2 parts, won't it be a little dicey because the introduction happens only in the first part? So will the audience feel involved enough, to watch the first part and, like it? The second part has everything. So already we were feeling that the second part is what everybody would want to see. So judging by what happened to the first part, I would understand that the second part would also be received very well. And especially in the South, I don't know if you've seen the news, you had people who've not been to theaters in 40 years or 50 years come to the theater on wheelchairs with oxygen cylinders, grandparents being carried to the theaters. It was because they wanted to see this. Not just because it had history in it or a part of history. There's something about the Tamil culture which was there, and everybody felt they needed to be a part of it. And that book has been a classic for the last so many years. I mean, there's no other book that has come out which has beaten it. And the beauty of that book is every character is so important. Every character is so well etched. And like they said, the women were empowered and the men were and all characters are grey. There's no character who's good or no character who's bad, except maybe ponniyin Selvan. But he too has his doubts. So every character is justified in what they do. So this is a film which is like, the audience is going to love it any which way. And we are very confident. And I'm sure did you like the first part?
Yes.
Did you see
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
I think you'll love this one, the second part.
Eagerly waiting for it.
Hey, my name is Rhythm from One World News. And my question is to Vikram sir, but before that, happy belated birthday, sir.
Thank you.
So my question was, if you could share some interesting anecdotes from the sets of PS2, like funny moments that has happened on the sets.
I think most of the funny moments happened during PR. It was very hard work, trust me. It's not easy to do a film which is a period film, and especially where you're trying to create some kind of an authenticity. Like Mr. Mani wanted to make Ponniyin Selvan like a reference point. Like, what would the Cholas have looked like? Like I'd spoken about this earlier too. There can be movies which can be made on a very grand scale. But there are movies like Ponniyin Selvan which was made as realistically as possible, So that was what you will find in the movie, and I think.
Hi, this is Radhika Sharma from the Press Trust of India. Since Ravi sir hasn't spoken at all, this is for him. My question to you is, in the first...
I thought you forgot about me because of the grey hair.
No, you're there. You're Ponniyin Selvan. So, yeah. Before the first part released, not many people who knew about Kalki's novel, they didn't perhaps knew that, Ponniyin Selvan, what he is or she is, or is it a period or anything. But now people who have watched or have heard about the film, they know that this is a title given to your character, Arun Modivarman. So I wanted to ask you, what is it about playing, how responsible do you feel as playing the character, as starring in and as Ponniyin Selvan?
Yeah, it's a very responsible character because see, that's the friendship. It's definitely a responsible character because down south, this is an epitome of a character. I mean, they look at him literally as God, you know, the ruler, the ruler. That is why, you know, Raja Raja means king of kings. So, Manisha called me and said, actually he said, I don't worry about other characters. This is what he said to me. I mean, he might have said the same thing to anybody, everybody, I don't know. But what he meant was, I can handle every other character. This, you have to bring something which is very responsible. So you go, live as Raja Raja Cholan for 6 months. So I don't know whether he told the same thing to everybody, to live that character for 6 months. So he wanted me to, you know, with my wife, with my father, mother.
Definitely not as Raja Raja Cholam.
No, sorry. So we will talk about this later and we'll find out Manisha's trick later. So he told me to live as that character because in one day I don't think this is going to come out. So I'm waiting for you to bring something out of it. So I went, I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and I came and he asked, did you find out? Did you come up with something? And I said, sir, Ponniyin Selvan had a brother and a sister. I too have a brother and a sister. I don't think in the 1,000 odd years, the emotion of a brother to a sister has never changed. A mother's love towards a son never changed. I think humanity has taken the core of emotions intact with them all through these years. So I just have to replicate those emotions properly, I thought. And the team did an amazing job on me, you know, the look. And so that was the responsibility I had, you know, to be pure. Thank you.
हेलो मैं सुरेश चौरसिया दैनिक राष्ट्रीय शान अखबार से बोल रहा हूँ। PS1 500 CR की एक रिलीज हुई थी फिल्म। PS2 कितने CR की है और आजकल जो फिल्में रिलीज हो रही है, रिलीज होने के साथ ही इंटरनेट पे चोरी हो रहा है। क्या आपको लगता है कि ये हिंदुस्तान में पायरेसी का अभाव है जिस कारण निर्माताओं को काफ़ी नुकसान का सामना करना पड़ रहा है?
सर नमस्ते सर, मैं हिंदी में बात करने की कोशिश करता हूँ। अभी मैं हिंदी में बात करने की कोशिश कर चुका हूँ। That's all I can say. But sir, I think piracy, yeah, it is like a virus. It is affecting the industry, of course it is. But I think nowadays with the new technology coming in, where, sorry to say North of India, is they brought up a theme like, you know, a producer gets 50%, the television channel gets 50%. So to prevent piracy, they were ready to release the movie on the same day or in 15 days so that, you know, they can share, the right royal people can share the profits to kill piracy. And now, after OTT platforms have come, I think, I mean, it is not affecting that much. We are able to control to an extent, sir. So, Dhanyavad.
Hi, this side. Hi, everyone. Here, this straight. Congratulations, PS2 के लिए. This is Saurabh from News Nation. जयराम सर, आपसे और त्रिशा से जानना चाहूँगा. जैसे ही आपने, क्योंकि अभी मैं ट्वीट कुछ कर रहा था, आपका अरुण मोजी और आपका जो किरदार का नाम है, वो जैसी ट्विटर पे आपने डाला, उसका वेरीफाइड हट गया. और अभी तक मैं नहीं देख पा रहा हूँ वो. If you can please share something about it.
We are surprised.
It's a technical glitch. Actually, yeah, we were all supposed to change our names. Like over-enthusiastic people, Ravi and I did it first and lost the blue tick. I don't know the reason behind it, but the team is working on reviving it back. But I think the Twitter rules have changed.
You guys can do something to help them, we'll be very grateful.
I don't have Twitter, so didn't have that problem.
जयराम सर, आपका भी हुआ है.
जयराम नहीं, रवि. जयम रवि.
सर, आपका भी वेरीफाइड हट गया. अभी मैं ट्वीट कर रहा था, तो आप ही दोनों का मैं देख पाया, अभी नहीं था, तो if you can.
हम अभी हमारे कैरेक्टर वेरिफिकेशन में हैं अभी फिर बाद में नेम वेरिफिकेशन के लिए आएंगे हम सर आई नो सर
Considering he is the next crown prince.
Hello. But they're refusing to let us purchase it because we changed our names. We tried doing that as well this morning.
Yeah, it has a 3-day
Yeah,
period.
it says suspicious activity because we changed our names.
Not suspicious.
To Kundavai.
Needs 3 days, 3 working days to
Suspicious
do
because
that.
she changed. Did you put your picture out?
Yeah, now I think I look different, so
Who is
you're not
this guy?
verifying me.
Please do.
Hello. Hi. Priyanka this side from Selvan Mantra. First of all, the PS2 team is looking fab right now in front of the ring.
Thank you.
Second thing, same when we get to know about the movie, whether it was PS1 or PS2, you guys are wearing so heavy costumes, whether the jewelries are there or the male costumes what they are having. So how difficult was it to carry on for that whole set and daily on the basis as so much time was there for the implementation of the film was taking place?
No, I think it was one of the first times that the men had to be worried about hair and earrings and jewelry, and we'll never envy the heroines again. You know, it's so difficult, and the thing is fighting. And we used to have this armor, and actually it was easier for us because we thought, let's try it being as real as possible. So it was leather, but even then it used to chafe, it used to cut. So even if when you swing, it's hard. It's not like cloth. And then riding, and you cannot bend, you cannot turn. I remember I think Karthi also has a back problem now. I had a major problem for almost 3 months. So it was very difficult. And it's not as easy as shooting any other film. You just go there, shoot, and then you chill, and you talk to your friends, and you're forever constantly checking your earrings and your hair and your armor, and did you miss out on anything? And you always are stiff. Even when you act, you need to, and you have to act princely. It's so difficult. Like, I think the most number of takes I had was walking into Nandini's chamber. He said, no, you're walking. And I said, no, I'm okay, sir. I went and saw the monitor, and I was actually walking in like some college dude, I was like, happily. And then he said, yeah, shit, no, sorry, I need to change the walk. And, it's a very different body language. But there's a lot of discomfort. But I think you feel like a prince, or you feel like a princess. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And in a Mani Ratnam's film, when you walk into that set and you see it and you realize that this could have been a palace. And it's so beautiful. Whatever you saw on screen, I mean, I don't even think Ravi did a beautiful job. It was like his name. It's like a painting. But I don't think he could capture the beauty of it all, the grandeur of what we saw and what we felt. So in spite of all that, we really felt good. And there was hardship, only hardship. But I'm sure all of us, if Manisa asked us for another sequel for Ponniyin Selvan or PS3, we'll be there. We loved every second.
Thank you so much. I think we all have a lot of questions here, but we'll have to curb the curiosity a little bit. So last 2 questions, please.
Hi, I'm Shweta from India Today. Actually, Karthi said that PS1 North Indians found confusing. So, how do you think PS2 will be received by North India? And, do they need to read the book before, they watch the film? Like, what do you suggest?
No, this is only from the feedback that I received from my friends here. And then I had to explain the story to them. Then I sent them WhatsApp forwards of the gist of the story, which is just a paragraph. And after that, they were able to follow it and became easier. I think the part 2, they have taken more effort to give the recap in the beginning of the film. So it will be easier to follow. Now, I think the faces are also familiar. So you don't have to remember the names, you know who's where and what they are doing. So definitely PS2 is going to be much, much easier to follow. And I think PS1 has done enough setup for PS2 to become bigger.
And, sorry, may I interrupt? The thing is, I think the confusion was more to do with the names than anything else. Like, I couldn't get some of the names when I was saying my dad. I still can't get, your Tamil? I like the Paduveta rare. I still, dubbing used to be a torture for me, and I called him, what were they calling him? I was calling him I couldn't get the name, so I can imagine, like, see, he says Arun Moji, actually it's Arun Mori. Yes. So it's very difficult. So, and they all sound alike. It must be like Chinese for you all, like everything sounds the same. So that would have been the confusion. And most of us are not, you're not familiar with us on the Hindi screen. But now I think, like you said, after seeing the first part, there shouldn't be any confusion. It was more of, there is a recap, and you could always, Amazon is there to help you. And we'll also send you the links to see that 5-minute introduction to part 1. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Akash this
Hi.
side.
My name is Jayaraman from Deccan Herald. My question is to Kati sir. I need to know like the inputs given by your father Shivkumar sir while playing Vallavara and Vandiya Devan. So it would be great. Like
He did not help me in any way.
Any
to be
inputs
honest,
given by-
he got me some nice history books.
Okay.
Because we had a lot of time during the COVID, and I had to read.
Yes.
I wanted to read, and he got me a lot of books, and then I got many more contacts through his friends, who were all people who would research on inscriptions on the temples, and they gave me more references about common people in 10th century, because all the references we have are only about royals in 10th century.
Yes.
There are very few accounts of common people in 10th century or even much earlier. So I think I used my dad's contacts a lot more than actually my dad's knowledge in this.
Okay. And what was his feedback after watching PS1 and also Surya Anna's feedback?
He was extremely proud because he was supposed to play Ponniyin Selvan when MGR wanted to make it into a movie.
Yes, indeed, yes.
So then later when I am doing one of the characters in the film, he was extremely thrilled and happy, and he said, I'm very proud of Tamil cinema. That's what my dad had to say.
Okay.
And my brother, of course, he took all his friends, and most of them are people who didn't speak Tamil. And he was just thrilled to see their reaction after watching the film, and he called back immediately after watching the film, what have you guys done? I think this is something you all have to be proud of, because very rare that all of us come together for one film.
Indeed.
And
And
give
look
it all
happy.
that we have. And look happy, exactly. It's not.
Thank you.
It doesn't
Wishing you all the
happen.
very best for the
Thank you
movie.
so
Thank
much.
you, thank you.
Hello.
so much,
Hello,
everybody.
ma'am.
Last question,
Hello,
please.
ma'am. Akash this side from Filmic.
Where are you? Oh, sorry. Hi,
Yes,
Akash.
here. Yes.
Okay, there's 2 questions for you. What about the others?
So
That's
just
not
last
unfair.
question, sir. I have a question, request actually to Trisha ma'am. So people are, they are in awe with your dancing, and they want to know about a lot more about your singing. So any song of your choice.
Fantastic singer.
So could you please just sing a few lines from any song that you can do for us?
You know, down south, when people have asked me to do this, I've point blank refused, saying I will never ever sing. If I come to Delhi and do it, I don't think I'll be allowed inside Chennai ever again. So let's save the singing for later.
Okay, ma'am. Any dialogue that from your, like, we would love to hear voice,
Sing Happy Birthday.
anything, any dialogue maybe from the movie. Your favorite dialogue.
Uyirunglodiyadu Devi.
आपका मेरा जीवन आपका what? Will you say it correctly? What is it?
Mera jeevan aapka hai is the right one.
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
This is
She says that's wrong. Blah 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 blah. Is that right?
Meri heart aapka hai.
Heart. Heart is this.
Heart.
Heart is dil.
हाँ, मेरा दिल आपका
And
है.
you should do it like SRK.
SRK
मेरा
style. Thank you, ma'am. You look beautiful as always.
Thank you so
guys.
much,
Thank you so
Akash.
much.
So much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. We are enlightened and we are elated at the